Hi everybody, welcome to Zhandra Melissa's show. And today Zhandra will be telling about our topic for today,
which is why gangs kill innocent people. In this show, I'm dedicated to my son because May 13, 2009, he was killed by a gang. And I have a special guest on our show, which is General Dogon. We'll be asking him some questions. So, Dogon, why don't you tell us how you got started in gangbanging?
I was about 18 years old when I got started. I had just left the church. I used to be a Christian, and Christian turned gang member. And I got into one of the Bloods gang. Started off as a foot soldier and went all the way up to one of the leaders.
Okay, and what made you stop banging?
It was about 25 years later. It wasn't until I went to a level 5 institution, California State Prison, and I ran into some real revolutionaries and found out the truth about black history and who I am as a black man, and what gang is all about. It's when I stopped and got into other organizations that really meant something.
Okay, one more question for me, and then take it away, Melissa. How do you feel about gangs now?
Well, gangs, they always serve a purpose in the neighborhood, but a lot of folks don't know the real meaning of being a gang member or enjoying a gang. A lot of youth today get into gangs for other reasons, but the real purpose of being a gang member was simply to patrol your community. And when your mother was out, doing her thing and you was gone, my job was to make sure nobody snatched your purse, make sure that nobody robbed the kids and stuff like that. But just like I say, gangs today have a distorted reality of what their roles and positions are in the community, which lead to a lot of self-inflicted violence on each other. A lot of people don't know that the real meaning of the word Crip is Community Revolutionary Independence Party. And the Crips started off as a community-based revolutionary party. It was a response to the annihilated Black Panthers that was in the community. And because the Crips, when they first started, there was a little few of them, but they grew so quick that they didn't have the leaders didn't have the political intelligence enough to deal with the large amount of members that had joined the gang. And so it had spread so quick, that politics, kind of got away from it. And it's like I say, the real purpose of any gang, should be to control your community. And the same is with the Bloods. A lot of people don't know that the word Blood means Black Liberation Organization over the Depression Struggle. And they was a response to the Crips who had got out of control at the time, And so when kids really know about Black history, Black history really sets the standard because it lets you know as a youth, your ancestors, your history and stuff like that. Like if I'd have known when I was 12 years old that there was another 12-year-old kid named Tudor Garment, who was general and he was in the military army. Not only was he general, he rose all the way to be pharaoh, which is like president today of this country at 12 years old. And when we learn about this, we learn about Queen Hatshepsut, who was also a queen, at a very young age. When we learn about Queen Nzinga, who was a queen of Naira, excuse me, I can't pronounce it right. But she was a queen in East Africa, and she was fighting off the slave catchers. And at 17 years old, she was a general. Back in today's days, she would be considered a gang member. But when we start teaching kids real Black history, and then they wouldn't be so quick to go out there and take another life because they'll know the importance of life and the importance of history, and they'll learn about how all this genocide, gangster mentality even came about in our communities, and what it's really there for.
I have a question for you in a minute. I think young teenagers whose gangbanging is reaching, they want attention. And they need a lot of love and attention, and parents nowadays don't have a lot of time for them. But I want to make a line where if they need to talk, they can always email me, which is Zhandra, Z as in andra510@yahoo.com. Email me, I'll be the one to talk to you. If any one of you teenagers out there need any help talking or need someone to listen, I'm there for you. And now, Melissa, how do you feel about gangs killing innocent people?
Well, I know probably from perspective side of the family, I know it's very devastating that they killed their loved ones. It has not affected my family personally, but I know other people that have been affected by it. But it just shows it's a way for the white man to keep down the oppressed people, which are the minority people in this country. It's a way to stop us from growing, achieving, and become the people that we should be in this country and throughout the world. So it's a form of keeping us oppressed and killing each other.
So, General Dolan, if we can form an organization to try to stop the teenagers from killing innocent people, do you have any suggestions?
Well, there's already a lot of good organizations that are out there. You know, we just need to come out and get involved. You know, just like I say, education is one of the main tools that's going to be needed. And some of the education that changed me around. I mean, I'm looking at what changed me around. So if it worked for me, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work for the next youth. You know, and I'm straight up let you know it's Black history. Black history changes a person. Black history gives you an identity. Black history is going to give a person a purpose, you know, in this life. And without that, you know, understand me, if you don't, when they took our history, when we came over here as slaves, they took our history, they took our names, they took our culture, they took our religion. So when they take these things, they got to replace it with something. So white supremacy is what was replaced with, you know. And so what we got to do is we got to re-educate ourselves. You know, and we're not going to get this education from the school system because the public school system throughout its existence have shown, you know what I mean, that they're not the real educators, they're the miseducators. The church, you know, we got a church on almost every block in the community, church and the liquor store. You know, and they got these churches there for folks to come and pray their problems away, and the liquor stores there where if you can't pray your problems away, then you can drink them away. But by no means do they want you to take any type of revolutionary or collective, you know, action that's going to really address these problems. So just like I said, we have a lot of good organizations that's out there. People need to go out and get involved in some of these organizations. And once you learn who you is, you know, I mean, you're not going to go out and do the things that you do.
Okay, Melissa. If I can, I know I can't stop a lot of them, but if I could try, would you guys be willing to help me?
Yes, I would. I would love to help you in this struggle.
You, General Dolan?
Oh, for sure. I'm already out there already. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm out there working, I'm talking to youth, I'm talking to the old folks. You know, you got, it's like, it's just not the youth problem too. We got some old fools out there too. You know what I'm saying? Because if you never was properly educated, you know what I'm saying, then you need to come home and get educated too, because it's a whole lot of work and a position for everybody to do. We just need to consolidate it and get involved and take some action.
Well, you heard it. We're going to try. That's the only thing we can do. And this is dedicated to my son, Michael Moore. Rest in peace.